I spent the last months being shit scared. And it's been awesome. Hey, welcome back to this giant marathon of what I've learned in transpersonal coaching. Someone's sawing. All right, okay, so now question number 2, how has what I've learned changed me? What I've learned is that my responsibility is to be a beloved presence in the world and allow the world to be a beloved presence in return, which is a conscious active choice. It's an active choice to be that in the world, and it's an active choice to choose to see that, to choose to see people as also a beloved presence. Like, everything is for us in the world, we just have to see how. Everything that happens is for us. It's for our benefit. It's for us to choose to see that and to love and accept the world as it is. And it's not just human beings. Anytime I say the world, I don't mean human beings. I mean the fucking world. I mean the plants and the animals and the insects and the bugs and the dirt and the moss and the seaweed and the fish and the sky and the clouds and the universe and the stars and the cosmos and all the things that we don't even know exist. That's the world. It's really big. It's immense, and we're part of it. It is us. We are all kin together. That is fantastic. That is that's such an amazing thing. Like, open your heart to that and your whole world changes. Anger. Ugh. This has changed incredibly. I have spent a lot of time in my life being angry, and I used to consider anger to be enough. Like, it was enough just to accept that I was angry and to feel about why I was angry. I mean, there's enough people in the world that don't feel their anger, don't express their anger, don't even know that they are angry, that I thought that being in touch with anger was enough, and it's not. Anger is a marker, it's a flag, it's a call to go deeper, because underneath the anger is either fear or sadness. In my case, it was fear. And I've spent most of my life covering up my fear with anger, because it felt safer to be angry than to be fearful. Which makes sense. Being scared is scary. Feeling like you don't have power to keep yourself safe is scary. And so anger felt powerful. Anger felt, I mean, this is literally the state of the world, right? The world is in fear and reacts in anger. And the anger is violence, and it's attack, and it's pointing outside of ourselves to try and eliminate a threat. When, in fact, feeling the fear, for me, feeling the fear, ironically, made me feel less afraid. And that's a huge benefit. I'm way less angry now. When I am angry, I stop, because being angry isn't enough, because it always ends up pointing the finger outside myself to someone else as the problem, and no one else is ever the problem. My anger is my own. My anger is a flag to look deeper and to find out where I'm afraid, because I haven't been willing to be afraid for most of my life. I spent the last fucking 8 months being shit scared. And it's been awesome. No, seriously, it's been awesome. Aw, shit. Aw, shit. Ironically, feeling my fear has made me feel safer in the world. And here's a terrible truth about the world is everything that's physical is going to die and disappear. I mean, our bodies is not who we are. It's just what we're working with. It's a tool that we have right now. It's not forever, and it will disappear. My body will die, and everything physical in this world will eventually disappear. Nothing about the physical world is constant at all. The only truth is that we are love and inclusion. And this is the balance and the breathing in and out of the world as it builds up and then it falls down, and it builds up and it falls down, and it's a beautiful grief. It's a grief and gratitude, and we'll talk about that later. But our safety doesn't lie in protecting physicality. Let that go. Nothing is ever going to keep us physically safe. We are safe spiritually. And the gift that's held out is that when we are connected in love, even physical suffering can be experienced as love. Ugh, God, that's really... You have to understand that I don't mean that people can treat each other traumatically or with suffering. I just mean that us, in ourselves, can find peace and joy within our own experience, connected in loving inclusion with all of the world. That's where the safety is, because physicalness is not safe. You're never going to be protected physically. You're never going to be free from harm ever physically. You could be free from the experiences of trauma. You can be in peace and love even as we inhabit physical bodies. That's what loving inclusion can do. I want to talk about that later in more depth. I have more confidence now in sharing my actual worldview with the world. I mean, I've been on the socials and YouTube and doing a lot of stuff for a long time, but never completely and openly and authentically speaking my worldview or my truth in such just direct ways, because I've been too scared. I've been scared. I have a much greater urgency now to share this with the world, regardless of its reception. It doesn't matter if people accept or agree with what I have to say. There's an urgency in me now that I didn't have before to do this regardless, to share this regardless. And I'm accepting now that I do have a piece to share, that I do have a view and a truth that is valuable and may be received by others. My value is in just doing it, just following what I'm guided to do. I had assumed before that everything that I knew, of course, had already been said. Like, of course, other people are saying this. Of course, this knowledge is being shared and is out there with other people, by other people, through other means. Of course it is. So why do I have to bother? But every single one of us is a unique worldview perspective, and my piece is just as important to share as anyone else's, and all our pieces are just as important to share as anyone else's. Doesn't matter if you think that what you have to share has been done a million times. No one shared it like you. No one has ever shared your view of holiness like you do. No one can share my view of holiness the way I do. And that's all that's required. I just need to share my truth of holiness. So that's what I want to do. That's what all this is. Yeah, and such wonderful things that's happened through this class. Yeah, I assume that people could do a better job of sharing my truth than I could. And just saying that, doesn't that sound dumb? Who can do a better job of sharing my truth than me? Really? So stupid. So, and the part that I want to share is not a chore. It's not forced. When I'm in line to what I really feel guided to be doing and sharing, it's a joy. It's a literal joy. It's not a chore or force at all. It comes easily and naturally, and there is enjoyment and engagement in it for me. I don't know if anyone else cares, but it doesn't matter anymore because I like it. And I don't take things as seriously anymore. It used to be really serious. Life was really serious. But it's just much more friendly and fun and adventurous. And really nothing is that serious. It's all love and inclusion. It's not really that serious. It's really not that serious. Just love and include. Okay, that's number 2. Great. Great. That wasn't a million hours like the first one was.